Good morning, friends. Do you know what I felt like this day? I felt sassy when I woke up. Sassy enough that I didn't want to do my hair, and so I decided this is hat week. So I put on my rainbow unicorn hat. Can you see that? And right here it says, be awesome. Because holy moly, friends, if there's ever a time that we have to be our best self and be awesome, it is right now. Seriously. Do you agree with me? And so when we wake up feeling sassy, we have to remember, be the good kind of sassy. Be the helpful kind of sassy. Don't be the nasty sassy that makes your parents go crazy or your kids go, Mom! Right? Today's the kind of day where if we were at our morning meeting, my students would have to say, Mrs. Littlejohn, you're getting off topic. Mrs. Littlejohn, when are we going to get to the story? I'm that kind of sassy, where it just feels super chatty. And I would be so happy to see you all today. Spring break happened, and we don't get to be together. What's up with that? But hey, at least we have this, right? So you can see me, and I can kind of know that you're watching just by the views. I would love it, please, so much, if you would email me and let me know you're watching, or leave a little comment so I know you're watching. Speaking of which, we're starting a poetry unit right now. So, once a week, I'm going to read this book, Love That Dog by Sharon Creech. It is a nice little juicy chapter book, it looks like, but guess what? When we break into it, this is what the pages look like. So, this is a poetry book. It's not a rhyming poetry book. It's not a poetry book where there are certain rules you have to follow. It's just a poetry book that, like, this kid is just talking about his feelings and how he's feeling about things. And I thought, I bet I have a lot of friends right now who are having lots of feelings about what's going on. So this book seemed like it would be appropriate to read right now. And to that end, I thought, how could I motivate my Okites friends to do some writing about this? First of all, if you're in my class, you took home your writer's notebook. So at any point during any of my videos that we're doing writing, you hit the pause button, you go get your pencil, you go get your paper, all right? Go get your writer's notebook, go get whatever you need so that you can be a writer during this time. But this isn't gonna happen today because you don't have this yet. This is my first video. This is the first time you're hearing about this. But I have made a whole bunch of little miniature writer's notebooks for you. And all you have to do if you're an Okite student is email me and let me know you want one. You have to include your address. You have to include your parent's name, because there's a postal carrier that delivers to Okites kids who is oftentimes saying, yeah, that person doesn't live here, and then it bounces back to me. So make sure and put your name, your parent's name, and your address, and let me know you want one of these. And I will mail you one of these little booklets, and you can have a super awesome poetry book that's based on Love That Dog, or inspired by Love That Dog. And you might have noticed I changed my setting today because I was tired of being inside, and I thought this camellia that we planted 10 years ago, she's in full bloom. She deserves to be a backdrop. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh, hello, darling. Aren't you beautiful? Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh, so pretty. Almost as pretty as you. All right. So we're going to jump into Sharon Creech's Love That Dog, and then we're going to do a little writing and talking about it. There is a part of this poetry book where Sharon Creech talks about another poem, and so I'm going to pause for a minute and share that poem, because sometimes if you don't know what it is that they've read, you just are like sitting there floating in the world like, I don't know what she's talking about. And so I'm going to make sure that you know what I'm talking about. No excuses, Holmes. No excuses. We're doing this. We're doing poetry. Get ready. All right. Love That Dog by Sharon Creech. Love that dog. Love that dog again. I love that little drawing. Just so you know, Sharon Creech is one of my favorite authors. She writes for older kids mostly, but I enjoy her all the time. So this is from, let's find the publisher. Joanna Kotler Books, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. So if I'm reading books on YouTube, I need to make sure and acknowledge the publisher, just so you know. For Sandy and Jack Floyd, Mark, Karen, Lithoy, Benjamin, Louise England, Robert Luthi, and all of whom love, love, love their dogs. With special thanks to Walter Dean Myers and to all the poets and Mr. and Ms. Stretchberries who inspire students every day. So that just means like all the teachers that inspire students every day. Oh, are you talking about me? Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Creech. And to you, Jack. So Jack is the main character of this story. Room 105, Miss Stretchberry. So that's the setting right there. September 13th. Another part of the setting. So we've got the character and setting right there. And they haven't even told us very much. Like we haven't gotten very far, but we know so much. And that's not even any complete sentences. I don't want to, because boys don't write poetry. Girls do. Not true. I think he's a little intimidated. So there's a lot of inferring that happens in this story. I tried. Can't do it. Brain's empty. I don't understand the poem of, this is September 27th, September 21st. I don't understand the poem about the red wheelbarrow and the white chickens and why so much depends on them. If that is a poem about the red wheelbarrow and the white chickens, then any words can be a poem. You've just got to make short lines. All right, and this is the part where I was going to stop and read you the poem about the red wheelbarrow. And I have it right here on my iPad. And it is by William Carlos Williams. So it's William Williams. Without his middle name, that would be a tricky, you'd be like, William Williams? No, William Carlos Williams. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow, glazed with rain, water, beside the white chickens. So that's the way that poem is written. You can see how it's all spaced apart. And sometimes poetry is actually like that, where it's a lot of thought is given to where the spaces happen. And that poem, if you closed your eyes and listened to it, you would picture the story about what happens. And so sometimes poetry means that we're painting pictures with words. So the words that you select for poetry are pretty stinking important. October 4th. Do you promise not to read it out loud? Do you promise not to put it on the board? Okay, here it is, but I don't like it. So much depends on a blue car splattered with mud speeding down the road. Sounds a lot like the poem that William Carlos Williams wrote, doesn't it? October 10th. What do you mean, why does so much depend upon a blue car? Excuse me. You didn't say before I had to tell why. The wheelbarrow guy didn't tell why. October 17th. What was up with the Snowy Woods poem you read today? Why doesn't the person just keep going if he's got so many miles to go before he sleeps? And why do I have to tell more about the blue car splattered with mud speeding down the road? All right, we need to get up our Snowy Roads poem. Snowy Road, Snowy Woods, whoops. Sorry. All right, and this is by Robert Frost. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. So that's another poem that's written to paint a picture in your mind of what's happening in the world of that poet. It's less about the words and more about the feeling that it invokes. I don't want to write about that blue car that had miles to go before it slept. So many miles to go in such or hurry. I think I'm just going to read like 2 more poems and then we'll get to our writing part. I am sorry to say I did not understand the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem, but at least it sounded good. Oh, looks like I need to get another one. Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright. I like this poem a lot. Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright. This is by William Blake. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Usually we say symmetry, but for poetic reasons we say symmetry. In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of my heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? So there again, we have a poem that we're really thinking a lot about what we see. And in that one, I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little nervous. The poet didn't sound like he was writing about things that made him feel happy. Maybe things that make him feel nervous. I'm sorry to say I did not really understand the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem, but at least it sounded good in my ears. Here is the blue car with tiger sounds. So this is on October 24th, and this is Jack's poem now. Blue car, shining bright in the darkness of the night. Who could you see speeding by like a comet in the sky? I could see you in the night, blue car, shining bright. I could see you speeding by like a comet in the sky. Some of the tiger sounds are still in my ears, like drums, beat, beat, beating. Ooh, Jack. October 31st. Do you remember the first thing that Jack said? He said poetry is not for boys. Yes, you can put the 2 blue car poems on the board, but only if you don't put my name on them. He's feeling a lot more confident about his poetry. They look nice typed up like that on blue paper on a yellow board, but still, don't tell anyone who wrote them, okay? And what does anonymous mean? Is it good? What does anonymous mean? Do you know? It means that we don't know what it means. All right, so we're going to stop right there. So Jack has heard a couple of poets and their poems, and he has been inspired enough that he could write his own poem. So today, instead of my paper taped up on the wall behind me, I have a clipboard. And that works just as good. And I need to wipe my nose real quick because I'm outside and it's cold. Excuse me. All right. So I think I'm going to write about my pink flowers over here. And I am going to very much be inspired by that So Much Depends story. So much depends poem. So much depends. Right there. So much depends on the pink flowers. And if we look down over here, you can see that there's all kinds of plants down here that are growing. Oops. Oh no, I messed up my tripod. So much depends on the pink flowers hovering above the rich. Ooh, and I'm going to use line breaks when I do my descriptions. So much depends on the pink flowers hovering above the rich brown earth. And you know what I keep thinking about? I keep thinking about how there's something so strange happening in our world right now. And I kind of want to include that in my poem. How so much depends on the pink flowers hovering above the rich brown earth, growing and bringing color when our world feels gray. So, this is the poem I just wrote. This is the first draft that I made. Next time we come back to the story, I might have something different. I might be thinking about the words that I like and the words that I don't like, and I might change it a little bit. But this is what I wrote today. I just took a risk and tried something new, just like Jack did. Even though it felt a little bit scary to write this right in front of you while I'm recording and I didn't have a plan, I just wanted to try something. So I hope you do too. So much depends on the pink flowers hovering above the rich brown earth, growing and bringing color when our world feels gray. I really like it. I hope I hear from some of you. I hope you ask me for one of these books. And I hope I get to mail one to you. And I hope that as we read Love That Dog, you'll keep it close to you and you'll write your poems in there too. And next year, when we come back to school, if you want to bring this poetry book in and show it to me, I would love to see it. But if this poetry book is a place where you write your secrets and you write the things that are private to you and you write about your feelings during this time and it's a private thing, that's okay too. I hope you get to go out in the sunshine today. I hope you see something that brings you joy. And I hope, against all hopes, that you're making sure that you make life pleasant for everybody at home. Cleaning out the dishwasher for the 1000th time. Cleaning your room up for the 1000th time. Not saying something to your sister or brother when you really want to for the 1000th time. I know things are hard right now, and I'm really proud of the choices that you're making to make things better for other people. Because when you lift other people up, you make yourself feel good. I love you, and I hope I see you again very soon. Bye, friends.